Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I am not an HVAC guy, okay? I am a jack of all trades and a master of none. Um, what we have two units, and this is a 2-ton Goodman unit that feeds the floor up underneath of it. And what I've noticed is on really cold nights, the unit is having a hard time keeping up. And so, in talking to my brother, who is an HVAC person, this is actually the backup heat. And this, when your system goes into reheat, or excuse me, defrost cycle, this is what comes on. Well, this wire right here off of the contactor literally melted. So this portion, and it's crazy that when it's too cold for the heat pump to work, that this is what actually heats the house. It's a 10 kW heat coil. It's kind of like an air dryer. So there's one other thing I have to do too. Up in here, we have all these wires, okay? Now, this blue, and this red are the feed speeds. The black is the medium speed. I believe the red is the slow speed, and the blue is the high speed. And these are basically right here just two holders so you can change the speed up. Why do I feel like I've got a bomb that I have to disconnect? The good news is I do have a new control system in here, which will just slide in 4 screws, and then it plugs right in. Disconnect goes right here, and I hook up my main power, and it's good to go. So not the hardest thing in the world. The heat kit was about $150. Time in here will be about a half hour or so putting this in. The savings on this will be probably about $700. One of the things you learn being a landlord or a homeowner is how to fix your shit. Well, the good news is she didn't blow up. But while I'm in here, I'm going to blow off the coils, make sure they're good and clean. But I've got the new heat kit is in, which is nice, that this basically plugs right into it, and we end up wiring our wires from our main power source right back in. And once I get finished, as soon as the compressor gets full, and blow it off, then I can go ahead and put the contact back in, and hopefully our electric reheat will be better. I do have the fan speed is on the highest. What it is there's a black wire, a blue, and a red. The black is high speed, blue is medium, and red is slow. So that's what you got. Thank you. Okay, we got the cover back on. We got the power on there. Now, this is the thing that always makes me nervous is because we're going to put the disconnect back on. It's going to call for heat, but it's going to take about anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes before the unit will actually come on. So we just wait and wait and wait. First thing that's good is I didn't get sparks when I put it on there. That's key. If you get a then that's not good. Not good at all. So I'm going to go inside and wait and wait and wait. And of course I have my temperature probe here. So we can see it's definitely cold down here. 45 degrees in our crawl space. Okay, so you see that right there? That flashing light is the thermostat talking to the unit. It's calling it to go on. But because the power has been disconnected, it will take 5 to 15 minutes before the unit will actually go on. What you'll hear is a little click, and that's when she comes on. It's been about 6 minutes. Maybe about 7. Still flashing. See, it's still flashing. It's still going through its reset. This is a safety feature to make sure that it doesn't harm itself going on and off too quickly. Oh, it just clicked. See, it stopped flashing. I just heard the click. And it's on. Yes! It's on. Yes. And so that's what it took to change the heat kit. And it's very, very important to have the heat kit in there working. And sometimes I've had a lot of Goodman units over the years. The ones I had about 18 years ago, which were literally the R12 units, it seemed like every year the heat kits would burn out. Literally every year we were buying a new heat kit for them, and it's really not that hard to do that. The key is, here's the signs to know that it's the heat kit. During the daytime, when it's like 30, 25 degrees, no problem with the heat. The problem happens is when it gets to be dark and it's really cold. So what started happening here is once it gets below about 15 degrees, you're relying mainly on the heat kit, because what the air conditioning unit is, as a heat pump is, it's an air conditioning unit in the reverse. So it's taking the heat from outside and it's bringing it inside. Well, once you get below about 10 degrees, there's not much heat that it can pull from, and that's when the heat kit comes through. Also, too, when the unit goes into defrost, the heat kit, and I can smell the heat kit, because see, here's what's also happening too. This is great, because the split right now is, I've got it set at 72 and the temperature is 64. What the unit's saying is, we need to try and get this heat up here quickly. So right now it's going to use the heat kit as well as the outside coil. So the reason I knew that it was the heat kit was because at nighttime, the temperature would drop down inside here on this lower level to about 62. And it would take a long time for it to kind of climb back up there. So that's saying to me that it's heating okay during the daytime, which means that the coil is fine. When it needs to have that electric heat, and I can smell it right now because it's brand new, it's going to go through and use both of them, but it doesn't have that second phase. Real important, real important. And the third way, I put it in emergency heat, which is meaning that it's just straight coil trying to heat the place up. It's more expensive to do it that way because it's basically getting like a blow dryer. You got those coils that are hot and it's just throwing that in there. I wasn't getting any heat. So there you have it. And I can smell the new coils, and I can actually feel the heat coming from behind me here. Actually, I'm gonna take my gun and see what's the temperature coming out. Let's take our probe here. Now this is, let's see already. Now that just came on, so this has to heat back up. The air temperature coming out of there is already at 75, and this is on the further end. All these damn Christmas decorations. This is on the further end. Okay, let's pull this back. Okay. So, getting 74-degree temperatures out of there. This one in here is right off the main trunk line. So this one will probably be warmer. Yeah. You see that? That's nice. That's nice. This is right off the trunk line. So it's going to warm this up first. That's on the far end. And we can look at this one right here. This one's going down further. That's at 80. This one's another one that's kind of far away. It's already at 80 degrees. Okay. And this is the farthest one away. So this is going to take time. This one is the longest run. because the unit is back over there. The main trunk line goes there, and it comes all the way across here. This one is a little bit closer. Let's see. 79, okay. So, considering it just came back on, 79, yeah. So, it has to basically warm up, because those units, after I had it off for about 40 minutes, because I also had a guy come bring a load of wood for my mother. So I had the heat off for probably 45 minutes to an hour. And it's going to take time for those ductworks to warm up. But you can see, I bet you that other one is even hotter than that now. It was what, 108? In fact, I can feel this room being nice and warm right now. Damn. Yep. All right, we did it. Got our heat going. Thank you, as always. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, I'm a jack of all trades because I'm broke. Can't afford to pay people. That's why I do it myself.